Greetings, patrons! Let's make Goldar go from this to this. I'll show you how I did it. Well, that's quite a difference. Can you see which side I painted? Alright, a little bit. All that's standing in the way of a really awesome Goldar is a good paint job. And, well, being gold. So, I just found this yesterday at Michael's. Every time I see gold paint, I buy it. I'm like addicted. But anyway, so this is Deco Art Americana Deco Metallics. If I can find a link to it, I'll put one in the description. Otherwise, I just found it at Michael's. Gold. Here's the side that I painted, and this is as is right out of the box. I haven't done anything to it. All I'm doing is dipping my brush into the paint, coming over here, and painting. That's it. It's that easy. I didn't spray them with anything, I didn't apply anything ahead of time, I didn't wash them, nothing. I see plenty of tutorials that sure make this seem very complicated and like you need a lot of supplies. I mean, there's certainly some things that, you know, skill or a lot of different things are involved, but in this case, it's really easy. Just try to have like a smooth, thin coat. It's pretty much what you want to do. Easy enough, right? And I'm doing this with one hand. I'm holding the camera with the other. And then once I'm done with the gold, I do a black wash, which I'll show once I'm at that step. Not there yet. But man, what a difference. I can't tell how well the camera's picking this up, but the very first coat you put on, it's going to make it very shiny and metallic, but it's still going to look about the same color-wise. It's just going to have a different finish. I guess that's a good way to say it. Already, it's looking better. You can see it's a lot shinier than it was. I mean, I guess you could leave it like that. It's definitely an improvement, even though it looks green in the camera, but I swear it's not green. But once you do the black wash, that's where the magic happens, I guess. I just put a tiny bit of this in some water and then painted it over that, but I'll show you when I get there. Alright, we've been out today, so he's been doing some drying. Mostly, anyway. Good enough. I usually don't pour the paint if I'm not using a lot of it. I just work out of the cap to save paint. Here's water. A little water in there. Got a little bit of black on my brush. If you use too much black, you can just add more water. You could use your finger, paper towel, wipe it off, or maybe you want more. It's, you know, I guess it'll kind of vary by the look that you're going for. I definitely want these little cracks filled in. The way I ended up doing that was I just took black paint like this, and then I put it into the crack like that, and then I wiped off the excess with my finger to fill it in. It's already looking like something. Just keep working at it until you get the effect you're after. The more watery the paint, it will dry lighter, and the less water you use, you know, the darker it'll go on. And that's gonna stay like that unless you wipe it away. And if you don't like that, just add water while it's still wet. But yeah, once you start adding the black, that's when it really starts looking good. In my opinion, anyway. Alright, same thing up here. There are some like scratches and indents. So I'm just taking the black right out of the cap, getting it in there, and then I just take my finger. Yeah. There are a lot of different ways to do this. Another thing I like to use is the India ink. Waterproof, eh? So I'm mixing that with water. Can you do that? I don't know, but I just did. So that's just one drop right there, and then how's that working? Usually I use rubbing alcohol when I dilute this. No, it seems to be working. It's another way to do it. And then you can take a paper towel. Just know when you do this, if you don't let it dry and he moves, he's going to wipe the paint off, so I'll have to fix that later. But the purple, now I've since gone out and bought purple. This was the color that I thought looked right to me, but when I painted him I didn't have purple. So I just mixed red and blue. Goldar's face is also totally like a little metallic, so I did use metallic paint. So this is ice blue, and again, just a tiny bit. And you'll want to use the thinnest brush you can find. These aren't fancy. I got like a big pack of brushes at Walmart. So it's kind of, you know, very light. And then you just come over here and just kind of dry brush it onto his face. You could do more than one layer, but that's how I did it. I did give him a little black wash before I did this. I think it really looks good now. I really do. When I painted this gold, I masked his face off with this tape. It's about as easy as just putting the tape over his face, but I tucked it under these. I can't really do this one-handed, but that's easy enough. You guys know what I'm talking about. And you can take this piece off when you take his head off. And I touched this part up with the gold because it didn't go all the way around. All of these things can be found at Michael's, Joann, AC Moore, any craft store. Walmart even sells some of the stuff. I could probably keep going with it a little bit, touch it up a little bit more, but I mean, I think that is a more than acceptable Goldar. That really looks fantastic now. It's such an amazing figure, and I did spill gold on... Alright, I have to fix the wings. They really did an unbelievable figure. The paint job is terrible. Well, there wasn't a paint job. It was just that solid yellowy gold plastic, and just parts were painted gold. But, I mean, that looks like Goldar. That looks like it jumped right out of the TV screen. I know there are a lot of different ways you can do it. I've shown at least 10 different golds on this channel by now, maybe more. I've seen other people custom their Goldar, and I've seen a lot of really good looking Goldars as well, but this is just the latest thing that I've tried. I think it looks great. Everything came from Michael's. You can go to Joann, AC Moore, any other hobby stores, Amazon, Walmart even sells some of the stuff. This is just the latest thing that I tried, and I thought it came out really nicely. Just thin coats, build it up until you think it looks nice, and then you could use the India ink, you could use acrylic, just any black at all. When I don't use that, I use... where'd it go? Oh, right here. There's this. I mean, it doesn't matter. I hope this helps make your Goldar nice and Goldar looking. Right? Yes. I think I did say ice blue, metallic. So I'll link to any of this that I see on Amazon, and of course, you're free to just go to your local store and see what they have. But if I can make it easier, I will do that. Alright, I'm gonna end here. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for being patrons. More good stuff coming. That thing that Mia is working on that I can't talk about yet, that will be a Patreon thing. You're gonna see it on MMPR Toys, but patrons get a little something more. Alright, gonna end here. Thank you guys for watching. Good night.